Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today we're going to be talking about Metazoo Cryptid Nation, both first edition and Kickstarter. We won't hit on second edition right now. We're just going to kind of hop into first edition and Kickstarter, take a deep look at the sealed box prices, and take a look at the market update on if you were to open up a box, what can you expect from a value of a booster box. So let's hop on in. If you want all access to all of this data, you can head over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG, where you can access to all this as a collection tracker and kind of evaluate the value of your collection in real time, or see some updated prices on where it was. So let's hop in and see where things are going. We're going to start off by taking a look at Kickstarter. Booster boxes kind of all over the place over the last couple weeks. There were some sold listings even lower than $4,000, but they're kind of been fluctuating around this $4,000 price point. That is obviously considerably less than they've been, but we, in the middle of this recession, it does seem that Metazoo is starting to take a hit. We had boxes upwards of $9,400 way back at the beginning of the year. So it's been a little bit of a roller coaster for Kickstarter boxes. Sold listings sitting at around $4,000. Non-alternating boxes sitting around $5,300. It's been 3 weeks since we've seen a sale of one of those though. So all in all, about $41.50 for boxes. Let's see, is it worth it to open up that box for Kickstarter? Right now, you do have still some value in the Terras, actually going up 2% to $12.20. I do know some people really like to flex the Kickstarter logo in some of their decks and the way they're playing. So at $12.20. Terra, same thing. People really like these. This is one of those things that I think the Kickstarter will be good for, is those auras and terras that are actually out on the battlefield every time you play. There's definitely some value in that long term. So terra's up to $18. Non-foil cards, not doing a whole lot though. There's just not a whole lot of movement. Non-foil, you can see they're just kind of stagnant. They haven't even moved up or down a percentage point. The volume's super low on them. No one's lowering their prices. Nobody's rising their prices. It's just kind of is what it is on the non-foil bronze. Non-foil silver, very similar situation. Not a whole lot of these cards are moving, even though they have that value and no one is selling them for less than this. They're not necessarily moving at these price points either. The market's kind of just dry. It's just not really doing anything. Reverse hollows are a little bit more fluctuating. This time we're up 2 weeks in a row, 8% last week, 10% this week. You've got Tripodoro moving back up to the 140s. Joint Snake moving to 30. You've got Bat Squatch looking at $40. So definitely some movement there and some upticks. Not a whole lot of downticks on the lower end Kickstarter stuff right now. It's up when we get to the higher end stuff that things are starting to look a little funky. So Einfield Monster up 4%, Manhoon up 50%, and Hug and Molly up 10%. You can see just slight changes there. We had a couple weeks of downturns, but now up 4%. Nothing really to write home about. Reverse hollow golds. This is where things are starting to look a little bit down ticking. We're getting down 5%, but this is not just 5%. This is 4 weeks of downturns after 1 week of an uptick. So a whole month now of prices gravitating on average downwards. Fresno Nightcrawler is one of the rare ones that's moving up. That one was at $20 last week. That being said, 2 weeks ago we were at 56 and now it's at 38, so we're still down from 2 weeks ago. Loveland Frogman, another similar situation. We were at 110, then we were at 90, then we were at 65 on a sold listing. Now we're back up to that $95 price point. So a couple deals to potentially have been had a couple weeks ago. Walking Sam, same situation. We were at 35 for a long time. Then there's a sold listing of a Walking Sam Kickstarter for $12.35. Before jumping up to 26 and now $40. So there was definitely an opportunity to pick up some of these cards at lower price points, and now our price points are getting back to where they were 2 or 3 weeks ago. Bigfoot though down $71, sold listing this week, so it's weird. Meanwhile, Mothman is up to $465. So it seems like there's some things starting to pick up, some deals starting to happen. But then you jump back. So it's kind of a weird market right now. Mothman at 16% up at $465. We'll take a look at some of the sold listings of Mothman in a second. We'll get to that now because the full hollow gold Mothman. Oh, let me tell you the reverse hollow average price is at $64.26. The full hollow golds, again, no real growth happening. A lot of kind of small downticks over time. But if you take a look at like Mothman has taken a hit. Not gonna lie, it's sad to see the West Virginia Cryptid kind of taking a hit. We were, we were up there pretty good at the $3,700 price point way back at the beginning of the year. We dropped down to $2,500, and then we were at $2,000. Then there was a random sale, and then we were kind of stuck at $2,000, and now we're getting down into that kind of $1,200 price point. Let's pop up a couple of sold listings for you to take a look at what is maybe going on these sold listings. There are a couple things that are hard to distinguish on them, but we will do our best. Let me make sure I've got it pulled up here. We will do our best to distinguish them. So you've got there we go. Sorry. You've got this is first edition. Let's hop over to first edition reverse holo. Here's your reverse holo from first edition. Oh, I thought I had a Kickstarter one. I don't have it pulled up. Oh, there it is. Kickstarter, a PSA 10 for $4,100. That's incredibly lower than where we were on that for sure. Another Kickstarter one. This one is $1,200. Now, this is a reliable seller. Card looks to be in decent condition. It's hard to use eBay to value these out. This was I believe a buy it now of this card. So super interesting to see that. That's kind of where the market price is right now on Kickstarter Mothman. So then you got Chupacabra down a little bit. You've got Jersey Devil down a little bit. Walking Sam. A lot of these high name cards losing the value, and then a lot of the cards that Piazza Bird, we haven't seen anything sell on the Pizza Bird for 4 weeks. It's hard to figure out exactly where they're landing. So all in all, average price of the full holo golds at $148.40. Let's get to the EV calculation. Again, boxes at $4,000-ish, 4,200. Starting to get to the point where it's almost worth it to open a box again, which is wild. Maybe we'll have to do another box opening on the channel, because boxes, the skewed EV would be $43.50. This is if you get more full holo golds in the Kickstarter box than in the spell books, that kind of thing. The regular kind of true EV sitting at $3,008. That's not including any of the non-foil cards, which again, it's hard to figure out how much value they actually have. Those Terror and Aura are moving decently, but the rest of the cards are kind of few and far between. So box EV of $3,800 or $43.54, or $53.07, depending on what you want to calculate it out. This is everything. This is not the non-foils, and this skews the EV to 26 full holos. So, all right, let's hop into first edition. We'll go a little bit quicker. I know that was actually pretty quick, but we'll go a little bit quicker. Booster box is down to like the $585 range, another 6% down. Where we came for these, we didn't ever quite hit over 1,000. We got pretty close. We hit into 900. That $1,000 price point was always hard for first edition boxes to reach. Spellbook sitting at 130. The rest of the stuff kind of is what it is. Your Aura, your Terra, not much value in any of this stuff. Non-holo bronze, not much value in any of those. Non-foil silver, not much value. Reverse holo bronze. Looking at a 3% loss this week, a couple weeks in a row of negative product. Chibi Mothman, really the only card changing though, from $9 to $8. Reverse holo silvers. Also downtick in here a couple weeks in a row. Again, this is the type of thing that is concerning when you look at it in a scaled back version. When you take a couple steps back and you look, and man, over since April we are down almost 60% since April, at 570 and now at 270. So some significant downturns on things like this. Squawk selling for $9, which is down 21%. As a whole, a lot of the average value down pretty considerably. Reverse holo golds, this one is different. This one's a little different. You're actually up this week 4%. A couple weeks of really nothing. Last week we were way down. Average price point at $9.58. Let's take a look at a couple of the cards. Mothman actually up here to $77. You got Piazza Bird, the Pizza Bird, up to $8, and Metal Man of Alabama, one of my favorite artworks in the game, up to $6. So some definitely things moving up. These artifacts, the reserve list, not really doing much for Metazoo, to be honest. I thought these reserve lists would be a little bit more targeted, and either that already happened, but imagine where these values would be without that reserve list announcement. It would be interesting to see if these would have been like $2 or $3 or $4 cards, or where they're at now, between the $7 to $21, I guess, Chaos Crystal, yeah, $24 price point. So super interesting to see that. And then taking a look at the holos, a couple weeks in a row of downturns here, a whole month of downturns really for the Metazoo full holo for first edition. You've got your Mothman again. Seems to be a card that tells you where the market's at. They move hands all the time. Someone's always looking to buy one, and someone's always looking to sell one because they're the chase card. It's it's that Charizard that a lot of people really want it, and a lot of people have it, and so when they want to liquidate, it's an easy card to move, and that kind of tells you where the market is as a whole, in my opinion. That Mothman down 8%. Let's pop up. Let's see if we get some more sold listings for you that I popped up, just to show you some more stuff. First edition, the Kickstarter reverse holo. We got another first edition PSA 10 sold for $505 here. Now that being said, the seller doesn't have any reviews, so it's kind of hard to figure out if that's like a legitimate auction or kind of what's going on with that. First edition, again, $40 for a first edition reverse holo at $40. And then we're starting to see some sold listings of the red scratch, the red ink. This one's selling for $1,200. So we put that in there as well in the box topper slot. Let's pull up that. We did have kind of another sold listing. This is that was a PSA 10, so it's hard to evaluate exactly what the price point is. We're just going to start tracking sales of them, and we'll kind of keep a cheat sheet in the background. This does not calculate it out in the EV of this because there's only there's only 100 of them, so it's hard to calculate that into the EV. All in all, your holo golds, though, at an average price of $19.57. You do have some movement on those artifacts, the reserve list artifacts in the full holo side. Other than that, some downticks in like Quetzalcoatlus and Death Beam. I know there's some conversation if you couldn't use these in the caster cup, so maybe the Quetzalcoatlus decks, everyone sold their first edition to buy the second edition or whatever they needed to play. There's definitely some conversation about that happening. All in all, let's get into your EV calculation. The skewed EV, and these are definitely skewed. These boxes, on the most part, is sitting at $612. Now, you have to sell these cards, and you have to make the money back, and you have to go through the volume. But in terms of actual value for cards at recent and sold listings, you're actually up right now on buying a box for $580 because the EV is about $612. Now, if you do get a box that the EV is not skewed, or the pull rates are more closely to what Mike intended for Metazoo, you're sitting at $426. So that is your market update for Cryptid Nation. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you want access to all this data as a collection tracker, if you want a community to hang out and talk all things Metazoo and be able to discuss the game in an open way, head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. We do have an amazing Discord server, and it does support the channel and content like this. Hope you have yourself a good day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.